Warriors, did Jerome Powell yesterday during his meeting, when they stated they're keeping interest rates low, they're going to keep stimulus money coming, did he signal that they are joining the New World Order? My name is Coach JB. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. I train warriors to understand the game so they can't be played. As you're looking at a pandemic this way, there's a whole nother agenda happening this way. And today I'm going to connect the dots and I'm going to show you a short excerpt from Jerome Powell's meeting yesterday addressing the public and answering questions. And he shared they are joining the new Green Deal. Now, I'm just here to share information with you guys. If there's anything you don't agree with, comment down below. This is a platform for me to open up your mind and awareness, and I teach my warriors how to fish. I'm not saying I'm the end-all be-all and I have all the information. What I'm sharing with you is the 9 years of deep research I've done, my knowledge in banking from being an executive banker and understanding how the banking rails work, and how I am putting my money into the quantum financial system so I can bring money back to my family and the warriors and build generational wealth. Because I'll tell you what, warriors, the Great Reset is already here, and most of you are missing it. And it's not that complex, warriors. They make it really, really complex, sound really, really uncomfortable. And here's the thing, warriors, economics are boring. So I'm going to show you the video. I'll show you how the feds have now jumped into the new Green Deal. They're part of it now. It's a massive, massive thing that's packaged in this new thing for the earth and saving our planet, and it's monetary warriors. And it is all in the fourth industrial revolution as we move from now to the fourth industrial revolution, and it's hidden in a quantum financial system that is moving right now as we speak, as you're focused on a pandemic. So listen to words. We're going to watch this video. I'm going to show you how the feds have joined a form of the Green Deal in financing. And then I'm going to show you where the World Economic Forum is taking you. In 2030, you're going to own nothing, warriors. This is your life. This is your money. This is your future and your kids' grandkids' future. All right, let's watch this.
Suggest it is credible.
Really important. Listen.
Thank you, Chris.
Hi, thank you. Yesterday, I guess the Fed said that it is joining the International Financial Greening Group, and just wanted to see if you could expand on how the Fed is thinking about climate change and how it might affect Fed policy going forward. Specifically, I think Janet Yellen drew a distinction between considering climate change when it came to financial regulation. But how do you see that also potentially affecting monetary policy? Obviously, there have been criticisms of the Fed for buying bonds of oil and gas companies. But leaving that specific case aside, I mean, is there any way that climate change considerations could affect monetary policy going forward?
Absolutely, it can affect monetary policy. The oil and gas industry is going to get wiped out. The milk and dairy industry is going to get wiped out.
So you're talking about the Network for Greening the Financial System, which we joined this week, and I'll just say a couple things about that. First, I'll just start by saying that we're going to move carefully and thoughtfully on developing an understanding of how climate change affects our work, including the areas you mentioned. We're going to do so with a great deal of engagement with all of our external constituencies, including the public and their elected representatives who are charged with our oversight. We'll do it with great transparency. Remember that we are a non-political agency whose goals and authorities to achieve those goals are set by Congress.
Notice how he's reading directly off a sheet specifically for this question. Was that planned?
We have great responsibilities and strong authorities that we'll use vigorously. We're not the forum where all the great issues of the day are to be hashed out, debated, and addressed, unless and only to the extent that those issues are directly relevant to our statutory goals and are addressable through our legal authorities. And because we have a narrow remit and because we stick to it, Congress has given us a precious grant of independence from direct political control. So society's broad response to climate change is for others to decide, in particular elected leaders. But so let me get to your question. What does all that mean for an issue like climate change? And why did we join the NGFS? So Congress hasn't explicitly assigned us or other financial regulators a role, and we're not among the agencies who contribute to the National Climate Assessment, for example. But climate change is nonetheless relevant to our existing mandates under the law, and let me tell you why. One of our jobs is to regulate and supervise banks and to look after the stability of the financial system. That's a responsibility we share with other agencies. The public will expect that we will do that. So we'll expect that those important institutions will be resilient against the many risks that they face. Credit risk, market risk, cyber risk. Climate change is an emerging risk to financial institutions, the financial system, and the economy. And we are, as so many others are, in the very early stages of understanding what that means, what needs to be done about it, and by whom. That's why 83 central banks have joined together to share research and identify best practices in this important emerging area.
What that means is 83 banks have joined forces to move into the quantum financial system, to move into the New World Order's Green Deal, which is the World Economic Forum.
We've been attending NGFS meetings as an observer for more than a year, taking part in the work. We had discussed that it was probably time to join as a member.
They've been attending for a year, just seeing if we should join this New World Order Green Deal coming up.
I'll just say that the financial system is really a global one. It's important that we work and discuss best practices.
Key word, financial system is a global one. We are going to a one world economy, warriors.
With peer agencies around the world, especially in a field where we're just beginning to develop our understanding. You ask about monetary policy. I'll say this. We have historically shied away strongly from taking a role in credit allocation. In fact, our agreement...
Okay, so that just goes... You can watch this video. I'll attach the video down below. So that shares with you they are now joining. They now join forces. So here it is. This is the NGFS, okay? So this is Central Bank Supervision of Network of Greening in the Financial System. The Network of Central Banks and Supervised for Greening Financial System, the NGFS, launched at the Paris One Planet Summit, the Paris Agreement. They are part of the New World Order. They jumped into it. Here we go. Federal Reserve Board announces it has formally joined the Network of Central Banks and Supervisors for Greening the Financial System. VeChain, XRP, XLM. This has to do with blockchain and cryptocurrency, warriors. It's time to open up your eyes and awareness. Now, let me just take you back to the World Economic Forum, and let's just listen to their words. It's key to listen to their words, warriors.
Now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
Now is the time to think what history would say about this crisis. And now is the time for all of us to define our own role. What is it that would make it so that history would look at this crisis as the great opportunity for reset?
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate, and rebalance our world. Rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology.
Boom, rebalancing investment.
And advancing the transition to net zero emissions, all elements of the Great Reset are fundamental to building the future we need.
The world's problems fit on three sides of a triangle. It's one versus many, man versus nature, and the unfortunate foundation is long-term versus short-term.
We had already income inequality that was fueling income, race, gender inequality. We have a climate emergency, which we can't walk away from. There's no doubt that the very survival of the human race requires us to act.
Any recovery stimulus should have green conditions attached to it. Energy prices should reflect real costs.
That's British Petroleum, gas and oil. They're all moving to rebranding their companies as energy companies. Warriors, we're small fish in this pond that could be big fish that can invest in the quantum financial system. That's what we're doing as warriors.
You need private sector capital, private sector ingenuity, private sector technology, and private sector capabilities to come to the party. You need enormous trust between the private sector and the public sector for this to actually work.
We have to change our economy dramatically in the next 20 or 30 years, and the next 10 years is absolutely decisive.
The recovery has to be greener than any of the previous recoveries. And in order to do that, we need to ensure that the stimulus package, including fiscal and monetary, are much greener than they were before. So we cannot waste this opportunity to ensure that the very precious money that's raised from the next generation is spent on green and low carbon.
Basically, if you're a company and you're not getting into the Green Deal, Jerome Powell just said, we're jumping in. We're not getting left behind. We're jumping in. The New World Order is moving us to the New World Order, which is a one world economy, a Green Deal packaged in this saving the world thing.
We will now start a quite high number of task forces to look at all the different issues, and we will present all those ideas to the people assembled in Davos. But at the same time, we will make Davos very different, very open, to ensure that we do not fall back to old recipes, but that we really look at forward-oriented solutions.
Young entrepreneurs, especially from developing countries, that's...
So Jerome Powell just announced yesterday, he said, we're joining, we're jumping in. You saw it right there with your own eyes. You heard him say it. He had to read off a sheet, some legal thing, sharing with you guys, hey, we've been attending for a year, and we just decided yesterday to jump on in, Warriors. What happened last year? Think about December last year. What was your life like? What is your life like now, December this year? You're questioning whether you're going to have a job. You're questioning how you're going to live, how you're going to support your family. Will you have health care? But they're just going to keep stimulating the economy, giving you some money, keeping you quiet as you look at a pandemic and you're worried about buying stuff on Amazon for Christmas. And there's a whole shift in generational wealth happening right now, Warriors, and you can be a part of it. That's why I'm sharing this information. That's why I'm sharing this information, Warriors. So if you want to learn what we're doing as Warriors, you can join our free global Facebook group down there, or you can join the Warrior Academy and be part of the biggest shift in generational wealth. My name is Coach JB. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. So everything you need is down in the description below. Let's get ready to rise together, Warriors. Warriors, rise!